I ran every single day for an entire year. And this is the story of my journey. I'll try not to yap too much, but I feel like I have to share my part. From January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, I ran every single day. And it fucking sucked. So it all started, let's go back, right? June 2023, I ran my first mile ever. I was 19 years old, 4 months from turning 20, and I ran my first mile ever in one continuous go, which was crazy. That it took me that long. In like high school or whatever, doing the mile, I could only run 2 laps, and then I'd be cooked, and then I would have to walk the rest. And I ran my first mile. I had read David Goggins' "Can't Hurt Me," and then I was out there at 4 a.m. to go for that run, and I did it. It cooked me. I had like I couldn't even breathe after. It was funny. But I was like, all right, this sucks, so I'm going to do this more often. So I ran pretty consistently that summer, the rest of that summer, 2023, and then, the rest of 2023 here and there, right? But at the end of 2023, I knew I needed a challenge for 2024, something that I can do every single day. No matter what happens, my entire day could go to shit, but I would still have that one thing, to have the runs. So I came to the idea that I'm going to run every single day for a year, because I hate running. I fucking hated running back then. I'm still not the biggest fan of it now. So I was like, all right, you're going to run every single day for a year. And that I did for 366 days. I think this streak was a little longer. December 2023, I had maybe like a 1 or 2 day streak or something like that. But 366 days, I was out there every single day. Now, it did not matter if I was sick, tired, hungry, thirsty, mad, sad, whatever the fuck. I got out there every single day and ran my mile, at least 1 mile. So the rules of the challenge were very simple: run every single day, run at least a mile, and three, don't stop. Do it in one continuous go. If you stop during your run to walk, it's over. You're gonna have to restart. All right. So with the first part, run every single day. I've had my fair share of days at 12 a.m., 1, 2, 3 a.m. going for my run because I procrastinated all day. Ended up being out there late as fuck to go run, right? So technically it was the next day, but I still counted it for that day because it's not like I went to sleep or anything like that. I was just out late, up late. Shit happens, but I got the running before I went to bed every single night. That's what matters. I actually tracked the whole process in this little notebook. Let me clip this so I can show you guys. But every day I wrote down my mileage. It's kind of cool to look at like this. It's a whole year right there, like 5 pages. You could see in January, pretty much just ran a mile every single day. And I increased the mileage here and there, but yeah, at least 1 mile was the goal here. A lot of days I did a mile and a half, 2, 3 miles, 5 miles. One night I did 10 miles. I'll cover that in a second. But pretty cool to look back on. And the entire year I had a total of 434 miles ran, which is kind of crazy, considering that my first mile ran was a year and a half ago. You know, so that's crazy to even look at. So running every single day with suboptimal recovery didn't really do me very well. My body was pretty fucked up after that. It's because my recovery sucked. I wasn't getting enough sleep or quality sleep. I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't stretching, which is stupid. I wasn't eating right or enough food. So, if you're doing some shit like this, don't do what I did. Take care of yourself. My knees are cooked. I guess they always have been, but they did not get any better from that. Um, but apart from that, I mean, there's no like long term issues with me. Now, as you can imagine, running every single day is physically hard, but it's also mentally challenging. I got out there every single day and ran. It didn't matter the conditions. I've been through everything, right? Fucking 16 degrees in shorts because I didn't even have sweatpants to run in, to 95 degrees, UV index 10 at like 2 p.m. So fucking hot that you can't even sweat. The sweat gets baked off you in the sun. I ran in freezing rain, like 50 degrees, where it felt like glass hitting my face. I remember that run specifically. Actually, I have it written down somewhere. But on that run, it's like my ears were booming and like I couldn't even fucking like see and shit. It's crazy. But I've been through all the conditions and all the circumstances, and none of them are a good enough excuse to not fucking run. Believe it or not, right? So you have to go out there and do them anyway. Also, on that thought, early January of 2024, I got pretty fucking sick. It was like strep throat level sickness. It started out as like night chills and shit, and then it turned to like this really bad sore throat, but it wasn't strep throat. And then I developed this cough, this persistent cough. I'm pretty sure it was bronchitis. I had something, some kind of respiratory infection that turned into bronchitis. I don't know. But it lasted a month, right? From like January 8th to early February. I was sick for a month. I was coughing crazy, but I still ran every single day. Even though if even though I couldn't even fucking breathe half the time, I still ran. Right? I only went to the doctor because I was pissing everybody off with all my coughing, but I still ran. And I still went to the gym. I didn't give a fuck. That wasn't an excuse not to run. Like what? Fucking bronchitis? Like what? Or pneumonia or whatever the fuck I got from it. Didn't give a shit. I ran every single day. So it's physically challenging and mentally challenging because you have to show up every single day. 98% of the runs that I went on, I did not want to run. I did not want to run. But I did anyway because the challenge is a challenge and I stuck with it and I knew if I quit, then I would have to do it all over again for another year. So I hated running so much that I made fucking sure that I ran every single day before I went to sleep. So let's talk about that 10-mile run because that was a huge goal of mine for that year to run 10 miles consecutively without stopping. About 20 steps in, I was already hurting. 1 mile in, I wanted to quit. So I ran 9 more miles after that. And it fucking sucked. It really did, but I knew I was going to run 10 miles because I went out with my phone and tracked down Strava. I was like, okay, you're going to run 10 miles. And it was crazy because up to that, I had like a 2 month streak of just running 1 mile every single day. Like, I didn't even try to run anything more than a mile. And then on that night, I was like, I'm going to run 10 miles. And I did. Now, a slow pace, sure, all right, fucking like a 10:40 pace. Consider it a fucking jog, whatever you want, but running and jogging are the same, but don't care. It's still going on a fucking run. And I didn't stop. And you'll see my little Strava descriptions. It's pretty fucking vulgar. That run fucked me up pretty bad. I remember at the end of that run, I couldn't even fucking walk. I was like struggling to walk. Everything hurt. My ankles, my calves, my knees were fucked. My hamstrings, my quads, my hips, shoulders from swinging. My lower back was sore. I had chafing like under my armpits from moving my arms and shit. I can see why runners go like this now. Um, Toes all fucking calloused. I had like a blood blister the size of a fucking quarter, like on my forefoot, on the side of my big toe, from that run. And it's pretty gnarly, but I actually enjoyed it, which is kind of crazy. Those super long runs at night are so peaceful. It also didn't even matter if I wasn't in town. Even on vacation, I still ran at the beach at DC, whatever. Still ran. Even if I couldn't run, I ran on the fucking treadmill. Did a mile on the treadmill a couple times on vacation, when I couldn't like go out and run anywhere. And that counts too. A mile's a mile, you know? Now, I don't want to make this seem like it's all fun and dandy because it genuinely fucking sucked, right? Like I hated my life from running. I mean, of course, I love my life, but having to run every single day, like, fuck, you'd be late as shit. Like, oh, I still gotta go fucking run. Like, it sucks, you know? I'm not trying to make it seem like it's all happy, good time. Like, no, bro, it sucks and it's miserable and it's lonely if you're doing it alone, just running every single day. And a lot of the days blur, you know, they kind of just go by and you're just fucking another day, another run. But it's rewarding, you know, having this fucking book with all my runs in it to look back on is pretty cool. So after this whole journey, I learned that you have to do uncomfortable things. You can't become too comfortable, right? Because suffering is imperative to growth. You need to suffer in order to really grow as a person. If you're not going through hard things, how do you know you're even growing? You know? So that's why I like doing these hard challenges because it really pushes you mentally and physically, you know, and it's suffering, it's pain. A lot of my runs, I was in fucking pain. Like, they hurt to run, you know? My body was just fucked up. After that 10-mile run, the next day I ran a mile and a half. And the day after that, I ran a mile and a half again. It's like my legs were fucked. Every muscle in my body was sore, you know? And like, that is suffering. But you gotta go through that shit sometimes, you know? I feel like that's important. It's funny, I almost kind of miss it running every single day. It feels weird now, not running every single day because I was so used to it, you know? Like, I made that my life, running every single day, you know? And now that I'm not running, I'm kind of like, feel like I'm missing something, you know? I feel like I've gotten a little too comfortable over the last couple weeks of this year. And I need to find something else, you know? Because like I can't run every single day anymore. You know, that's you do that for a year for the challenge, that's cool, but doing that anything doing that any longer, it's just like I can't do it. Like some people can do that. Some people are doing that, running every single day, but I got nothing out of it. There's no benefit of running every single day physically. Like, did I get better at running? Slightly, but through having no recovery, not really. But, you know, it is what it is. But I'm constantly trying to find that new thing that I can suffer through, you know? Because I need something. I need some kind of challenge. I need something mentally or physically challenging that will really push me, you know? So I'm setting new goals and shit. This year I want to run a marathon. The furthest I ever ran was 10 miles, so running, you know, a full marathon would be crazy. But I need that challenge to work towards, you know? It's like I have to do hard shit. Because if you're not doing anything hard, it's like, what are you doing? You know, you're just comfortable. And comfortability is like the worst thing, you know, because that leads to stagnation. And when you're stagnant, you're not doing anything. You're not going forwards or backwards. It's like you're just sitting there. So if you do want to think deeper on it, it's like doing these hard things. It'll help you. You know they're hard, yeah, but it's like they build your character, you know? So with a challenge like this, you're going to make it your entire life. You're not going to quit the fucking challenge because if you know you quit, you're gonna have to restart and you're gonna feel like shit. You know, you would never forgive yourself for quitting a challenge like this, for giving up. I knew I wouldn't have if I were to quit. You know, you could have broke both my fucking legs and I would have tried to go out there and run my mile. You know, like nothing stopped me. Nothing got in my way. I ran every single day. You know, most people aren't going to understand that, you know? Yeah, sure, it was just a mile most of the days. Oh, mile, you know, anybody can go run a mile, sure. But it's showing up that's hard. Day in, day out, every single day. I've had my fair share of 4 a.m. runs, late night runs, 1, 2 a.m. runs. I showed up every single day. That's the hard part. It's not just the run. Like, yeah, it's physically hard, you know, it's challenging, you'll be in pain and shit. But it's mentally hard to show up every single fucking day when you don't want to run. That was the hard part. And I lived for that shit. I loved showing up because I hated it so much, you know? But that's discipline. Discipline is doing the things you hate doing, but acting as if you love doing them. You know, like I found this crazy discipline in running every single day because I knew if I failed, I would never forgive myself, and I would have to restart the challenge. And since I hated running, I didn't want to fucking restart the challenge. So I made sure I ran every single day, before I went to bed, right? So I've been through all that. I've had tons of different experiences over that year span with my runs. But it's more than just the miles, it's more than just the running. It's what it does for you mentally, you know? You will come out a different person after doing something like this. Truly testing yourself physically and mentally. You'll find a different sense of yourself by going out and doing these runs. And on these runs you're alone. You're with your heads. Like I had no music. I had nobody to run with. I was just running with my thoughts. And out of that I got so many good ideas and good thoughts and things that I could work on and improve and add into my life and whatever, right? Because on those runs, it's just you, man. It's just you. You're alone. Like I didn't even have my phone most of the time. I would have these circuits that I would run that were a mile, a mile and a half, 2 miles or whatever, and I would run those circuits. So I didn't have to have my phone with me. I could just remember what route I took and then put the mile in after, the mileage in after. But that's really all it is. So if you're thinking about doing a challenge like this, no, it's going to be hard as fuck, and you're going to hate it every single day. But if you are going to do it, learn from me and prioritize recovery because I did not, and it made it even harder on me. So get your water, get your sleep, eat right, stretch. Like I didn't even stretch, bro. Like what the fuck? So don't do what I did. Would I recommend running every single day? No, because it's just hard as shit. But yes, if you want to push yourself beyond what you previously thought was capable of yourself. I went from a guy who could barely fucking run to running every single day for a year and clocking over 430 miles in 1 year, which is kind of crazy to look back on. I almost don't even believe it. It's like what? Like I did that? I'm not a fucking runner. I still don't even claim to be a runner. I'm not a runner. I'm slow as shit. I just like doing hard shit. And I like a good challenge. So I think that's it. I don't think I missed anything. It's kind of hard to tell, when you're just recording all this in one go. I don't have any fucking notes or anything. I'm kind of just going off my head. I mean, I have like a couple things here, but nothing really entailing to the actual runs. But yeah, pretty cool. If you have any questions about my whole experience, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help with what I can. And appreciate you guys for watching this far. Have a good one.